This one is interesting. I watched like a bit of it. I think this is the video that I watched. It's called Starfield Absolutely Shameful Discourse, and it's by Upper Echelon. So let's watch this one.
All right, today isn't some sort of info dump or a guide or an investigation. It's a hot take. Maybe a lukewarm take, obviously, as the title makes clear. I don't know. But witnessing the discourse of Starfield over the past week or so has made me moderately depressed and also forced me to realize just how polluted and angry the gaming community has now become. For those who don't know, when I talk about angry gamers, I actually have a pretty robust foundation to draw from, more than many people might expect. Back in 2019, CNET actually wrote a hit piece about me called Meet the Angry Gaming YouTubers Who Turn Outrage into Cash. And yeah, it wasn't just about me, but I was the one who actually got tricked the most and straight up talked to the sleazeball who was writing it for like an hour and a half. The entire premise was that people like me, people who criticize video games, are overtly aggressive, unnecessarily outraged, and we basically grift our audiences with angry commentary for no reason. He completely ignored the consumer advocacy stuff and my far more articulated reasons, but whatever. Obviously, I disagree with how that article was portrayed. However, witnessing the discourse unfold with regards to Starfield, it actually gets quite a bit harder for me to do that right now. A few days ago, I published my initial impressions for the game, and the nicest way to put it, the nicest way possible, is that I enjoy Starfield for what it is. I'm at a point in my life where maybe I'm just more open to seeing the good side of things rather than the negative, and I chose to see the bright side while complimenting the things that Starfield gets right. I stand by those impressions, okay?
Yes. Yes. And that is so easy to do when the developers, when the developers give you a game, or the game itself gives you enough of content and enough of playtime that gets you immersed, that makes you want to play more. But if the game doesn't do that for you, then yeah, then no, you gotta bash in it, right? That's at least my theory. That's how I fucking operate. You saw that with Star Citizen. Whenever they did anything good, and I'm talking about CAG, I complimented them. I was throwing roses at them. But whenever they were making bad fucking choices or mistakes or giving us just like unfinished, unpolished, shitty things, I would say, yeah, you guys no, that's not good. Fuck off with that bullshit, especially with like the fucking monetization of everything in that game. So I think that like this is a fair approach if you're enjoying the game and if the game gives you a lot of good stuff, and if you see a lot of potential in it, then yeah, approach it from that viewpoint.
Okay, I do. And sure...
Oh yeah, there are obviously YouTubers that turn outrage into cash, but also a lot of people need to be outraged so they could fucking click and like... There's a thing called confirmation bias, because like the other dude that we just watched... I closed the tab. The other dude that we just watched, he fucking had like 300,000 people that watched that fucking video, right? It's because they were already like outraged. Because they didn't like the game.
Field gets right. I stand by those impressions, okay? I do. And sure, I probably didn't need to say right from the onset that the haters of the game...
You remember the 90s where the games were like 90% bug free? You know why? Because no internet. Well, I guess we had internet since like, what, 94. But you couldn't like push an update over like Steam or whatever. You couldn't fix the game afterwards, after the launch.
Game were wrong. But then again, why should I care about calling people wrong?
Oh shit, I missed Legion said something. Speaking of giving a game, I asked around for Skull and Bones, but I have no way to find out a way for you to play the game for now other than beta tests. Our Singapore studio is handling this. No, like, it doesn't... Legion, thank you, first of all. But it doesn't need to be Skulls and Bones. I'm just like, whatever game, if there's a beta, just like hit me up. If there's like a review copy that I can like play, that would be fucking great. because I'm really into UB games. Today, just before the stream, we Scarred Citizen and we played Division 2, and I'm like, dude, we played for fucking like I can show you the thing. Let me actually find it. He probably is not gonna get pissed off. Let me just like focus on that. So we played for 3 hours. It felt like 1 because the game is that good. Because the game has that fucking that much content in it, right? But anyway, let's continue.
Do it in a much more aggressive way elsewhere on the channel. I go after scammers and con artists rather often with inflammatory rhetoric. So why wouldn't I project some, at least some, of that same energy here, albeit a much more subdued version? Likewise, people say whatever they want in the comment section about and towards me
Legion.
or other creators for that
awesome.
matter. So give and get, the name of the game. That being said, what came back as a result was honestly baffling. I genuinely enjoy many different aspects of Starfield. The ship creator, for me, despite somewhat janky controls, is a game in and of itself, while I have a tremendous amount of fun just experiencing some of the random encounters, exploring planets and killing random camps of enemies, or learning the intricacies of how and where I can break the game physics to become stupidly overpowered. That's like a super cool thing for me to do in games. That's my objective. Beyond what the developers intended.
Some
really.
people like playing
It's enjoyable,
games like that.
yet imperfect,
That's
fun,
fine.
but very flawed, and I really don't have any problem saying that out loud. Here's the thing. That video has resulted in a rather abundant number of people unsubscribing, which is fine, that's their prerogative, while I get inundated with comments and even private messages, some of them, about how I am—
Dude, I want to sound this smart when I'm talking in English. It pisses me off so much. That's their prerogative. Indicted. I mean, I understand the words, but I would never think of these words when I'm talking.
unsubscribing, which is fine, that's their prerogative, while I get inundated with comments and even private messages, some of them, about how I am unironically, according to these people, paid by Bethesda, shilling the woke agenda, and betraying the essence of video games. Or
Dude, shilling the woke agenda? Okay, I think I have like one more video that like is queued up about that. Yeah, so pronouns. So we have to watch that one. I mean, we really don't, but we probably should. But what I wanted to say is, like, do you guys feel woke because you played Starfield? Do you guys think that like they're pushing the woke agenda because there's a they them pronoun? Like you can see, I'm like a Serbian, and that like barely fucking affects me. Right? English not being a native language to us is probably why we don't use those words naturally. I mean, yeah, exactly. I don't sound this dumb in Serbian, but yeah. You know why you don't really care, Jim Flag? First of all, because you're a normal person. Secondly, because you're making your own fucking character. You don't need to be they, them. You don't, like, you want to choose a man's, he, him, or she, her. Go for it. What is the issue? Like, you're making your own fucking character. What the fuck are we talking about? I just want the game to be fun. Leave the politics out of it. Do you guys remember the launch of Tomb Raider, the first one? The fucking first one. People were outraged. At least, like, here in Serbia and, like, a bunch of, like, magazines and all of that, like, gave it a fucking negative score because, ooh, it's a girl and she fights people, she fights men and she fucking wins. Well, a woman can't be that fucking strong. Like, come on! It's a fucking game. Not really, but the one Russian black character was sus. That was the funniest part. Like, you can see it on my stream. I was like, he doesn't look Russian. Like, it's weird. But yeah, nowadays you have like fucking videos on YouTube. Like, YouTube is so fucking toxic. You have videos on YouTube like, oh, Ahsoka is Ahsoka Tano or whatever. The new Star Wars. Oh, it's trash because it's just women. They're fucking Jedi. Oh no, but they can't fight men because they're women. They're fucking Jedi, first of all. Secondly, I don't know if you ever fucking saw a woman if you have like that kind of a mindset, honestly. Jesus fucking Christ. Tomb Raider 1, oh yes, I do remember that nice curves. Curves? You don't remember it at all then. It wasn't fucking curves, it was like a pyramid.
Some nasty stuff involving Todd Howard. They like to say that stuff too. That's just to name a few. Let's just get something out of the way once and for all. Here's what a snapshot of my prior Bethesda game
like,
coverage.
Whenever somebody says, I'm sorry, I'm going to continue the video. But like, whenever somebody says, don't give me that political shit in my games, like, it's not that somebody, like, that you're playing the game that makes you want to vote for fucking Trump. Also, there's the rest of the fucking world, right? So, I don't want to vote for Vucic, my president here, depicted in the voodoo doll there. I don't want to vote for him because I played fucking Starfield, right? I don't want to vote right wing. I don't want to vote whatever because I played a game, right? So, like, what fucking politics? Also, if you're playing like a game like Tropico or Civilization or whatever, there needs to be politics involved, right? Because it's that kind of a game. So why are you playing those? Like, it's so fucking awkward. It's so fucking weird. If pronouns are not a big deal, why Nexus bans modders who remove pronouns? Dude, as I've said, it's in the character creation. You make your own fucking character, right? Can we, like, agree on this? You're making your character. And if you want to make your character, you can make it to be like whatever you want to. Right? It can be a woman, a man, a she, her, a he, him, or a they, them. Why do you fucking care? Why do people always want to influence and, like, what's the fucking word here? Impale is not a word that I'm looking for. They always want to tell other people how to fucking live their lives and all of that. Just fucking live and let be and let live. And that's it. Why would you care if somebody wants to be a they, them in a game? Why? It's the same with, like, here in Serbia, you have like 3 different kinds of people. The ones that support the LGBT plus community, or like that have nothing against lesbians and gays, because that's like the thing that happens or whatever that you can see the most here in Serbia. Then you have the haters that would like bash their fucking skulls in, and then the vast majority is people like that are saying like, well, I don't have anything against them, but they should do that in their like 4 walls or like inside their own homes. And it's like, they should do what? Hold their hands, hold each other's hands, kiss. Why? Why? If everybody else can do that, why can't they? And they don't understand that, like, by having that kind of, and I don't fucking know why we're talking about this right now, but fuck it. By having that that kind of a fucked up opinion is basically in support of these like skull bashing idiots. It's not in support, right? But it's like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, yeah, most of the people are like that, so they are not really gonna care if something happens. So anyway, let's continue without fucking talking about this anymore.
Here's what a snapshot of my
because it's pushing on an ideology. Fucking stop it! Fucking stop it!
Prior Bethesda game coverage looks like during the era of Fallout 7.
Let me see what Legion said. Some people would even complain not being able to be a table as a character, there's always an unhappy people, and the opposite is true. Other people would be mad if you could play as a table. Exactly. 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 So where's the pronoun for the girl that the girl for the girl that like identifies herself as a table or a Apache helicopter, because there's like a meme around that. So if anything, you can say that they found a middle ground, that like Bethesda has found a middle ground. Let's fucking leave it at that. Jesus Christ.
For anyone who remembers that. Totally scumbag beta. Complete garbage. Let's kick a dead Fallout 76. More glitch than game. Bethesda's broken promise.
These are his old. If you forgot, we're watching a video. So, and this video is on the shameful discourse in game. Jesus fucking Christ. These are his old videos.
The Hindenburg of gaming. That's my coverage, and my tone should be very obvious. I have zero problem criticizing games or developers or publishers with merciless rhetoric, but I genuinely do not believe that such a level of one-sided critique is justified here and now, in particular with Starfield. But what am I if not a man of the people? So for those of you who need to have it, if you must hear it, fine. Here it is. The game is absolutely huge, technically speaking, in terms of raw content.
How dare you support people who identify as an inanimate object? I don't fucking care. That's the fucking difference, and you shouldn't care either. You, like, nobody should fucking care. Live and let live. And that's it. Listen to fucking Beatles. Come on.
And number of planets, yet somehow they managed to create a fast travel simulator, which is the precise opposite of what they led the audience to believe with their marketing material and completely breaks immersion, which is a blunder and a half. The inventory system is terrible, but I circumvented that by investing heavily into my starship building and making a 5,000 cargo capacity freighter. It worked.
So
However,
true.
Yeah,
so true. I had like 7,000, I think.
We'll think that's very tedious. The combat is fucking awful because the mob AI is brain dead. You can break line of sight and they just get confused and walk around. The tactics are on par with something you would have seen at least 10 years ago. And the difficulty is all over the place because clearly the numerical internal balancing is extremely botched. I have fun with broken combat systems. Myself, personally, I do, because I can exploit them to feel overpowered and again, break the game. But if you don't like doing something like that, obviously you'll think the gunplay in combat sucks. Dialogue is deceptively shallow. I actually didn't even see how bad this part was till after.
That's exactly what I said. That's exactly what I said, that the dialogue is deceptively shallow. Because whenever you think that you're making a difference in the dialogue and that like you're gonna have a different outcome, it's always the same thing. I had like my fair amount of crashes because the game was just unstable. I didn't even mention it in my review purely because a bunch of people had no crashes whatsoever. So I don't think it was like that important. Could be that it's just not like working with my memory with DDR5 or like my like whatever USB my keyboard that is plugged in. Like there's so many fucking things that can cause a crash. So I didn't think that it mattered, but because of the crashes, I have tried different dialogues and different options, and the outcome was always the same.
Can exploit them to feel overpowered and again break the game. But if you don't like doing something like that, obviously you'll think the gunplay in combat sucks. Dialogue is deceptively shallow. I actually didn't even see how bad this part was till after my initial impressions, when I did a bit of save scumming and found out that it's basically a giant spider web of false choices. And a lot of the planets are just dead real estate. There's no point to be there. They just serve the purpose of another planet you can technically go to, ! And nothing more. I found this out yesterday in a pretty brutal way, where over the span of like 2 hours, I encountered the exact same bandit base 3 times. It was the abandoned hangar location and appeared on separate planets with everything precisely identical, just different levels of mobs. The main city is completely soulless. It's boring. Not acceptable boring, worse than boring for that part. It's a chore to even go there because why would I go somewhere that doesn't interest me? But Neon or Aquila, those other cities are much better.
That's true. It's not just boring, it's just like whatever. You run through there, you do your tasks, and you run off, and that's it. But Aquila is better. Music there is better because like the whole place reminds me of Firefly, the series, and it's just fun.
When I stopped fixating on the things I hate, I found that I could be a smooth-talking introverted scavenger on Neon and have way more fun. The skill system is padded out, and though there are certainly a number of really cool choices and progressive unlocks, after level 30 or so it starts to slow down and feel a little too punishing without some sort of perk reset option, which I don't believe exists. To be fair, I found a great way to level up on higher level jungle type planets really early on, so I overcame that issue rather quickly. Again, that's how I play, I break things, but that's what I enjoy. Break them for my own enjoyment, so I don't know, if you don't like that, it's going to be a different story. Graphics aren't very good, however, I tend to not care about that a whole bunch in any game I play. It's not about the graphics to me. And the lack of intuitive map systems absolutely increases your level of frustration while trying to explore the galaxy. I could continue.
Okay.
There's much more I could fixate on, to be sure, but please hear me when I say this. Despite all of that, I'm still excited to log in. I'm still excited to chase down pirate ships that land off in the distance on various planets, hijack them, take them back to a city, sell the parts off as I look for the right internal habitat modules that hold crafting benches. By the time I'm done,
Yeah, I don't know about this. That like, I don't like the mechanic where you steal a ship and then you have to register it, and you spend like the ship itself is like 7,000 credits, and then you gotta register it for like 6,000, and then you can sell it for basically the difference of 1,000. I just didn't like that whole thing. At one point, I think I sold a ship without registering it, but I forgot on which planet. Not gonna lie. So that's why I didn't put it in the video. But most places, at least to my knowledge, make you register the ship, and then like you can sell it or like do whatever you want with it.
I'm going to be flying around my own version of a Death Star. It's going to happen. And then continue construction of my, whatever you want to call it, central super freighter, right? That is very fun for me. Yeah, it was tedious traveling all
Yeah, you don't need a map. You always have some like markers
around
on
the universe with the grav jumps till I spent a little bit of time refining the ship, and now I can go halfway across the entire playable space in one single move. Yeah, that's also kind of stupid because this is supposed to be a huge immersive sandbox, and the fast travel breaks the shit out of the immersion. But I get off on efficiency. I play games to get things fast, to break them and be overpowered beyond what the developers intended. So the ability to instantly teleport across the universe after spending however many hours of my time grinding out resources and credits to make it happen, it's a dopamine hit for me. It's a reward, and I like that I can do it.
And that's a perspective from a normal player, from a gamer. And that's why most gamers will not consider playing Star Citizen, or like even Elite Dangerous for that matter, because there is no like fast travel system, and there's like, since there's nothing to do in the ships, especially in Star Citizen. I haven't played Elite Dangerous, so I wouldn't know, but since there's nothing to do in the ships while you're traveling, then it's just like a waste of time. You have nothing. Like, here's the, and I'm gonna stop talking about that game. You spawn, you walk, you press W to get to the tram, you get into the tram, you go to the space station, you get your ship out, and then you fucking go into quantum or whatever, space travel. And whatever game has that, and if it's not skippable, players are like, if you don't have anything to do on your ship, players are gonna get fucking frustrated really fast. And I'm not talking about like Call of Duty players. I'm talking about like the majority of fucking players. And that's just how it is.
Even still, this really isn't about me defending my personal enjoyment of the game, because I shouldn't have to, and it's perfectly fine to enjoy it, okay? Period. It is also perfectly fine, however, to say, I hate that shit. Get it away from me. It's garbage. And a lot of people are saying that right now. And they can say that. This is where it gets bad. I don't know who this person is, Nina Infinity. I watched some of her stream to get an idea while making this video, and she seems like she just plays games and commentates on them, same as the rest of us. However, this, let me just read it out loud.
I didn't watch this part.
I made a tweet about refunding Starfield because I was annoyed about the pronouns and because the game did not run well on my system. And for the past 4 days, I have gotten demonetization threats, people
Wow.
wishing death on me, people telling me to
Wow.
go demonetize myself, attacked because of my looks, called a pick-me, a demonetized phobe, you name it.
You should go and demonetize yourself. Jesus Christ.
Called a pick-me, a demonetized phobe, you name it. They're now in
No, look, Luna, if I compare anything to Red Dead Redemption 2, you're going to say, well, you're comparing everything to Red Dead Redemption 2, right? And a single player game with a strong story or a story driven single player game should be compared to the pinnacle of story driven single player games, such as Red Dead Redemption 2 and The Last of Us, and I don't know, whatever, fucking Skyrim, right? But like, since we're talking about space and space travel and all of that, of course I'm gonna compare it to the game that we all know.
books, called a pick-me, a demonetized phobe, you name it. They're now in my Insta and YouTube comments also, commenting on completely unrelated things to try and gotcha me, all because I asked for a refund on a video game. I never called for a boycott of it. I never told anyone else to do what I did. I've always maintained that people should enjoy what they enjoy. And I'm told that I'm a snowflake because I've made a big deal out of nothing. Who is actually making a big deal out of nothing? End quote. Even though it wasn't actually a full quote because I put my own words in there, but yeah, you get the picture. On the one hand, being attacked online isn't a bug, it's a feature. I've had my own ups and downs, brush-ups with that in the past. Some of them were pretty bad, especially in video games, go figure. But on the other, what in the world is going on where a game like this and small things like that are being used to just mercilessly attack each other to such an extreme extent constantly? Yeah. She doesn't deserve that. No one does. Right now, in a weird way, I can see both sides of the coin, as if that were physically possible, simultaneously. I don't really know how that.
Remember the time when Hogwarts got released, and then you had like websites that were made to like report the streamers that are currently streaming Hogwarts, so they can get brigaded by the people they want to cancel them. That's the world that we're living in right now. It's weird. I'm very biased of my complaints about Starfield. Is just because it wasn't Star Citizen alternative I wanted? No. I was fully expecting Luna, like, you're not listening to me. I was fully expecting loading screens, but not this many. I was fully expecting not to be able to fly around the planets, like atmospheric flight, choose where I'm gonna land. But I was expecting to have some, like, for the ships to have some meaning to them. I was fully expecting that, I don't know, your outpost is not gonna be like that much of a deal, you having an outpost. But it doesn't, like, you can go through the whole fucking game without even having one. Right? I was expecting most of what happened with Starfield, but I didn't expect that it's just gonna be like, let the modders fix it. Let the modders give us good things. That's the issue.
Happened, but hopefully I can make some nuanced content while I'm here. I have made videos in the past, no joke, titled SJW Culture is Ruining Gaming. And I still 100% understand.
All right, you guys got to tell me what SJW is. Let me Google it, actually. Meaning social justice warrior. Okay.
Why I made that content. I still stand by it to a degree, but with new perspective, of course, over time. I also realized that Starfield allowed me to have, 70 hours so far, at least, of enjoyment. Yeah. And woke politics never appeared more than one simple selection of pronouns. I know there's a little bit more of that in the game.
Exactly.
People have been really aggressively trying to tell me it, but personal experience, I didn't see it. I saw one thing, I pressed one.
I didn't see it either.
One button, I got into it, and then I just didn't notice that stuff rearing its head. I wasn't aware of it, and it didn't jump out at me or ruin the experience in the slightest. That's just my honest opinion. How rotted have our brains become where something that's supposed to be an escapist fantasy is now, you can say things are infiltrating it or whatever, but it's supposed to be an escapist fantasy, is now a rallying
Exactly.
cry for Xbox and Sony fans to attack each other over exclusivity rights. Right and left political ideologues get to attack each other over the game's
You know
perceived-
what? Like, leaving the politics out of it, the exclusivity rights were always a thing since PlayStation. I'm gonna say PlayStation 2, like since those days. Fucking, I just mentioned The Last of Us. Last of Us is still like a PlayStation exclusive. The second chapter of the game, you're probably gonna watch it on the screens, on the TV screens, like Pedro Pascal and I forgot the girl's name. They're probably gonna have like the next fucking season before you're getting on before you get it on PC. So should we attack the PlayStation owners because of that? Should like the Xbox owners attack the PlayStation? Like, it's just stupid.
message, and players of the game itself get to attack each other because some of them enjoy it while others don't. The entire thing is just such a wake-up call. Here's another
Harris, why is it there if it's not important? Why can you choose to be a woman? For some people, it's fucking important. It's not for you. If you're a male and you do not want to be play as a fucking female character, then it's not important to you. But for some people, it is. And that's it.
example of what I'm talking about.
Like Sonic being only on the Genesis, yeah. Or like even before that, you had fucking what's his name, Pac-Man, and then you had the port to Atari that fucking basically crashed the industry. How bad it was, right? It's basically the same with like the port of The Last of Us. It wasn't as bad, but it wasn't that good.
The entire thing is just such a wake-up call. Here's another example of what I'm talking about. Alana Pierce, who now works for Sony, and she was actually being attacked by some people because she shouldn't even ever stream the game because of its affiliation with Microsoft. And it's really stupid when you read it. I mean, I can't get it out of my head now how dumb the discourse has become. But anyway, she streamed herself for 7 continuous hours traveling across the solar system to Pluto. When she eventually got there, she phased right through the planet's surface. That's obviously kind of funny, and also highlights how some of the game's more egregious flaws have come through when you compare it to the manufactured expectations. I mean, look, overinflated expectations is a better word, but I'm not trying to attack people that thought they were getting something else. I mean, Bethesda and marketing and all that, there's plenty to criticize in gaming, okay? I'm not trying to say there isn't.
Yeah.
But back on task, she also had to readjust every 30 minutes or so because of a fully functional day-night cycle and planetary rotations that were taking place in real time, which is kind of cool. For context, before my Twitter account got completely removed, I had some kind of argument, I can't remember now, with Alana in a thread somewhere, and I don't recall what it was, but I know I was wrong. I regretted it after, and I look back now understanding in real time that the basis foundations of my extremely angry and vitriolic opinions about video games were there, okay? I had reasons to feel protective or upset. And for a lot of hobbies, gatekeeping is 100% necessary, else the hobby gets destroyed. But the way that all of it unfolded was just so blatantly wrong and had no productive use in the world. I look back sort of in shame about how I handled it. Maybe that's called growing up. I don't know. My point is this. Starfield is a pretty messed up video game if you want to look at it through that lens, but the level of vitriol we see right now spewed across forums and threads and live streams all over the place, it just feels wrong. Like deep down in my gut, it feels wrong too much. You can call
destroying a level 10 pirate with a fucking mining laser. Amazing.
the game dog shit and you'd have valid reasons to do it. Likewise, you could call the game a masterpiece after exploring it for 100 plus hours, and you would have equally valid reasons to do that as well. Maybe not equally valid. This game just objectively cannot be a 10 out of 10. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Objectively, it's not a 10 out of 10 ever. That's pretty clear. But you could defend a 7 or an 8 or maybe even a 9 if you really thought it through and had incredibly precise definitions of what that score pertains to. Age-old truth, the most extreme stuff on
But
YouTube...
then you lose all the like objectivity. Is that how you call it? If you have a objective opinion, like it needs to be rooted on the other games that you have played. If you only played a single game or a couple of games before this game, then yeah, this is a 10 out of fucking 10. If you only played Pac-Man on Atari, then it is a 10 out of 10. If you only played Star Citizen before this is a 10 out of 10. If you only play Star Citizen and nothing else, Star Citizen is 10 out of 10, right? No game can be a 10. I beg to differ. Like, if there's a set expectation, for example, first Need for Speed that got released, I'm gonna say for me at the time, it was a 10 out of 10. Why? Because the name, Need for Speed, a lot of speed, and I have a need for it. And that's what it fucking offered to me. It was like mid 90s or whatever. It was super, like, maybe it was like, no, it was late 90s. It doesn't matter. Or I don't fucking know anymore. But like, it was super basic. You press W and you go forward and you're really fast, and that's it. And the game fucking worked. 10 means perfect. Exactly what I'm talking about. For me, even like Red Dead Redemption 2, which is on the top of my single player games list, Red Dead is a 9 out of 10. Right? So that's why I think that my 6.5 out of 10 is realistic here when it comes to Starfield.
YouTube gets the views. When I called Fallout 7,
No, 10 means like 9 means must play. 10 is just like, dude, there was nothing like this before, and it works. There's no bugs. Like, come on. That's 10 out of 10. That's not like IGN scoring. That's like normal people scoring, right? Or like GameSpot scoring. I remember like GameSpot when they like back in the day when they would score like a completely fucking broken game that has nothing. Like, let me find it actually. Like, I'm pretty sure that like Duke Nukem 3D Forever, not 3D. 3D was actually good. That like it was a piece of shit game, and I'm pretty sure that they gave them a pretty good score. Let me see. Oh no, it's actually 3. It's bad. No, it should be 1. It should be 1. There is no like. There's nothing in that game that is good. The game is just trash. Then like, yeah, I've seen. That's why I'm correcting myself. I'm talking about GameSpot now because IGN started like reviewing games a bit better. I didn't watch like that many. I watched like one review of Starfield, and I'm not sure which one, but I'm pretty sure that like IGN didn't like give it a score bigger than 7. IGN score Starfield. Let me see. Yeah, 7 out of 10. See, and that's oh no. Okay, you can see it on Google. 7 out of 10. That's fine.
76 garbage
that's realistic.
with like really extreme rhetoric. I got 500,000.
Like garbage would be fucking Duke Nukem Forever, right? Garbage would be like most of the scam games on Steam.
Garbage with like really extreme rhetoric. I got 500,000. When I said SJW culture is ruining gaming, I got over 1 million views. But for Starfield, my actual opinion is so much less satisfying or divisive. It's lukewarm. It's a game that I've found a way to have a great deal of fun with at a time in my life when I want to have fun with a game, and it's a game a lot of people have been waiting for.
No, I was talking about Duke Nukem Forever, not Duke Nukem 3D. Like, Duke Nukem 3D was fucking amazing back in the day.
But it's not a game that deserves to become the focal point of a console war, a political powder keg, and a social media gamer civil war of sorts all at once at the same time. I'm getting pretty close to being ready for my final review, which will come out when I feel I've attained the level of undeniable expert, familiar with bugs, the exploits, the quests, and the internal systems alike, all of it.
Yeah.
But for right now, the discourse of Starfield.
That's why I waited. That's why I didn't want to make a review like immediately, even though I knew that like making a review like the first fucking day would give me the most views, even if I called it first impressions. But I didn't want to do it because like I wanted to know the game a lot better and to know like all the intricacies or whatever around it, and like know how deep the game could go, so I can actually like do an actual honest review.
Absolutely shameful, in my opinion. You can hate the game. Absolutely, you can hate the game. But it doesn't deserve to be a paragon of everything wrong in the industry. Likewise, you can love the game, but you cannot go around pretending that people who criticize it are somehow gamer chuds or too negative. Angry Joe has been getting reamed for this on Twitter, and in reality, he has some of the same sort of opinions he's always had, articulating them in the same ways, and they're valid, but some people feel so unbelievably attached to Starfield, right to their very core, their identity as a person, they resort to
that's always an issue. But yeah, I feel this a lot because this is what I've been going through since I started this YouTube channel, because like since I started making videos or like streaming or whatever. Because if you don't, Division 2 is 8 out of 10. Well, I mean, yeah. We have encountered our first fucking not pay to win, but like pay to play mechanics. I didn't know about that at all. I played a bit more than Scar Citizen. But other than that, the fucking game is fucking amazing. There's a lot of content in it. And I want to stream it probably tomorrow. But yeah, I completely forgot what I wanted to say. Yeah, like people keep on attacking me because of my viewpoints and all that. You gotta understand, like, even though I'm trying to be realistic and I'm trying to be as objective as possible, it's still like my fucking thoughts, my channel, my thoughts. That's how it fucking works, right? So don't attack other content creators. Don't attack each other because you like something that another person dislikes. That's it.
They're valid, but some people feel so unbelievably attached to Starfield, right to their very core, their identity as a person, they resort to personal attacks, really, really extreme attacks.
Division 2 sucks. And then Luna says Division 2 is excellent.
When the thing that they identify with is criticized even slightly. It's been a super, super long-winded way of saying this, but after my years in gaming, of which there are a decent number now, I look at Starfield with absolute disgust. Not because of the game itself, but because of how we as players are reacting to it, and how easy it is, easier than it ever has been, I expect.
Division 2 is fucking 7.5 tops out of 10. Red Dead Redemption 2 is 9.2 out of 10 grumplings, and Starfield is 6.5 out of 10. I challenge you. I dare you to say anything different. Jesus Christ.
To spiral off into more and more extreme, critical, or protective discourse. How about we stop doing that for a little bit and touch some fucking grass? That's it. Maybe I get reamed for this one in the comment section too. I don't know.
Exactly.
But after typing all of this out, sitting here and reading my script repeatedly over and over, I genuinely feel better. That's my take. Stop fighting so much about Starfield. Because the cold, hard, honest truth is that love it or hate it, the game is just not worth that particular brand of time and energy. And I say this as someone who basically made a career out of being negative.
Well, I had this same bug, but I couldn't find it because I had 72 hours of fucking footage to go through.
So I see both sides of the coin. It's just new perspective over time. I still understand why I said a lot of those things, and I agree with a lot of them still. But now I see the world in a different way over the past few years. So yeah, the Starfield discourse is absolutely shameful. It's not lost on me how hypocritical all of this is. I'm monetizing myself, complaining about people, complaining about a game. It's not lost on me, okay? I get it. But I do genuinely mean what I'm trying to say.
No, dude, you're making a fucking statement on your channel, channel that you fucking built with your blood, sweat, and tears, 652,000 subscribers. You deserve to speak your mind, and whoever says otherwise can do something else in their lives. I'm not going to continue the sentence the way you thought I'm gonna continue the sentence, the way I wanted to handle the whole fucking thing. But no, I'm gonna say, do something else in your lives.
Long history in gaming, where I came from, how I used to be, how I am now. I actually think that everyone should kind of let it go, and that the discourse around this, the review stuff, the Sony fans, the Microsoft fans, the left and the right, politics being involved, like all this stuff, it's just too much, man. It's a video game. Just enjoy it or don't enjoy it. You can talk shit about it or you can say it's great, but just stop attacking each other. If you want to support, please do consider locals, Patreon, or channel memberships. Ad revenue is completely destroyed on YouTube, and yeah, those are just way better and more secure for me as a creator. If not, hopefully I'll be a lot more consistent with the content now. And
did you see the thing that I posted on my Discord? Speaking of this, let me just find it for a second. It happened like a couple of days ago, and yeah, so this is the shit that I'm like dealing with right now on my YouTube channel. Blocked in countries, demonetized, limited monetization, which is basically demonetized. Even if I don't get demonetized, the money is shit. So yeah.
Any brands who want to work with me for sponsorships, my email is down below. I'm trying to work with, I don't know, brands that really want to be with the channel and not just go down the road of the big corporate ones, but whatever. Thank you all for watching and have a nice night.
What's the name of the video? I'm gonna share it with you, as always. The fuck? Why is there a giraffe at the ending with some, like, synth music? I don't know. But yeah, the video is really good. It's by Upper Echelon, there's the link. I really dig it, and I think that he, like, hit the fucking nail on the head with this one, because, yeah. What else is there to say?